Hi, this is Paul Kinkowski with the Systems Conference. I'm here with Michelle Vaakil. She's one of my friends who has a property management company in Los Angeles, California. And Michelle, we are so excited to have you speak at the Systems Conference. Really, really great to have you. I've been friends with Michelle for about 7 or 8 years ago. Met her at, I believe, it was a NARPM conference.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, and you've been at the Systems Conference quite a few times, correct?
Yes. Not the first one, but I think maybe the second one.
And then you've been with the second one on. So she's been a regular at the Systems Conference. She runs a really cool business in Los Angeles. About how many doors do you have in Los Angeles that you guys are managing?
So we're managing around 2,000 doors, not all single family. We have multifamily part of the business, and then single family. It makes up around 100 doors.
And you've made it with your business so that, are you working in your business 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day, or are you doing other things?
I am doing mostly other things, but I still have my hand in the business. I can't help myself.
You still have your hand in this, but you're not, your business is running with systems and processes.
That's yes.
And you enjoy playing pickleball in the morning and going to France for a week and doing things that you can go away in the summertime and your business still runs.
Yes. I have a pretty good tan.
So that is great. It's a funny thing is, showing how small the property management community is. Michelle and I have known each other for a long time, and all of a sudden I found out she's good friends with my brother-in-law because they are in the same pickleball community in LA. So, it was just random things, random people you meet. But Michelle, you've been, your company's been, how long is your company has been a couple generations, correct? Or is it you're the first generation?
I'm second generation. It was founded in 1991, and I came in shortly afterwards. But I grew up in the business. My parents were real estate investors who had other professions, and then at a certain point, so many of their friends were asking them to manage that they started their own business, and it kind of took off from there, and they quit their jobs, and I got my MBA, and I decided at that point, if I'm going to work, I can work for somebody else, work for myself, and I chose to work for myself and grow their business. So it was really a great ride.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so you basically grew up in property management. That's been what you've seen in your life, and it's been something that's fun. And you've been to the Systems Conference quite a bit. What do you feel is the benefit of going to the conference?
I think, of course, the classes, all the information you're getting from the presenters, they have such deep knowledge. But besides that, just the people. Everybody has something to add. Everyone has figured out something to help their business grow and do better. And so you just are getting so many tips and insider ideas of how to just increase your income, lower your expenses. It's all it's about.
And you're going to be talking about, we have a lot of interesting technology, other things going on, but you're going to be talking about a book that maybe some of us have read but not implemented. If you haven't read it, definitely something you should read. But you're going to be talking about traction. What are you going to be talking about with traction?
Well, traction is basically a roadmap. It's a very practical book about how to set up your business so that you can get yourself from working in your business to out of your business. And so there's steps in the way. It's something that you can implement yourself. You can hire someone to implement it for you. And basically it helps you to just systemize how you do things for your partner.
Is traction similar to EOS, or
it's an entrepreneur operating system. I think that's the
traction. So what the heck is EOS and then traction? Those are what that one is for the employees and one is for you. I don't
have the book right in front of me. I'll show it to you, but I usually literally have it sitting on my desk. It has it's earmarked and but it literally has chapter 1, do this, chapter 2, do this, chapter 3, do this. One of the chapters is all about systems, all about setting up operations. Another one is all about KPIs. It's about how you put the right people in the right seat. So all of those comprehensive in terms of setting up your business for success.
So as we understand, she's not a traction instructor. She's just going to be talking about her business and how Traction has helped her, what she did to do Traction. She had her quarterly rocks, and her big ass goal was one of them called the big ass, the 10-year, what did they call that? The 10-year.
They have like 5-year, 10-year, yeah.
Yeah, but there wasn't.
I'll talk about, because I think it can be very overwhelming when you hear about it and you think, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? And honestly, it was just a matter of nothing was overnight. Everything was, okay, we're going to do this month, and we just rolled it out slowly. Got interrupted by, little in COVID, period, but slowly rolled it out to the point that we have, almost everything in place, so that I can just look at numbers and kind of sense where the business is.
What is the average rent of your portfolio?
Oh, around 1,800.
Around 1,800. So 18. So you have a lot of apartments.
A lot of apartments. A lot of one-bedroom apartments.
And at 1,800, you have a lot of like 18 unit apartments. So you're dealing with a lot of institutions, like big investors, or
not really. City of LA, County of LA. There are some investors, but they're mostly accidental investors. So they're people who inherited property, or somebody encouraged them to buy property, but they didn't know what they were doing and realized really very quickly they had to hire a management company. So mostly, and then, your very common professional who thought they were going to live in the house forever and then got relocated to New York and has decided they're going to keep that property and rent it out. So it's really a mix of that. We do have some nonprofits we manage for, some trusts, but mostly small landlords.
And so looking at that, you're in LA, California has regulations. LA has added regulations on top of California that we never had to deal with out in the Inland Empire. So how do you spend quite a bit of time making sure regulations, processes are in place for these regulations? Like, how difficult is that?
It's honestly brutal, but it's kind of a double-edged sword, because why we're hired. Right? So local landlords have kind of thrown up their hands and said, I just can't do it. I can't keep up. Can't keep up with these rules. I need someone to help me step in. We step in and just do that. So we're experts in what we do, but we keep spreadsheets of like with the rent increases, what are the local rules. Every place is different. When I started, there were 2 cities in this whole area that were under rent control, and now almost every single one has their own rent control, own rent registration, own relocation rules. So it's very, very, very highly specific to the location of the property and the age.
So, and with 2,000 doors, you're going to have lots of doors in every single location. Your people can't just be like, well, this is our policy. It's our only policy. You have to have a policy for Hollywood that's different than a policy for Inglewood that could be different, all the different areas if they're under different legislation.
That's true, but I think the software has evolved, so you're able to input a lot of information so that it can set you up for success.
And you also will be on our legislation panel that's on Wednesday. So Nunnal should be talking about that. She's going to be talking on our legislation panel. Melissa just reminded me that. So she'll be talking about legislation, how legislation affects. I mean, I know that, we have other people, from Texas speaking. We have from Ohio. We have people all over the place. And we're going to have people from different states on the legislation panel, because a lot of times you think, oh, I'm not in California, I don't have to worry about legislation. But as we've seen from, our talks, Brad Larson's going to be there. He's had legislation in Texas, and I know from our Arizona. I'm in Nevada. I'm a Nevada broker, and we have a crap load of legislation in Nevada. Like it's more on the property manager than the people managing it. So everywhere there's legislation, and we're going to go through and see best practices. I mean, Michelle's a wealth of knowledge to talk to you about how she's handling. If you have a little bit of legislation because you're in Ohio and you're just starting to see it, how that she can handle it. And legislation, like you said, is a bad word, but it's a double-edged sword, because if national legislation comes across, which, you know, we hope doesn't as a property owner. I hope we don't have national rent control. But if it does come across, it's going to create a serious opportunity for landlords all across the United States to get trained, to get better, and know how to do it. Would you believe that?
Oh, I hope it doesn't happen. I mean, I think there are certain rules that might come into place because of just bad actors out there. But in terms of, I think we're set up. I think our systems are set up to adapt. And it's not so scary. A lot of it is just about disclosure. And
I just bet someone from Idaho is going to have to learn how to get these things set up. But it's also going to add in Idaho where you don't even need a license to be a property manager, don't even have to be a real estate to be a property manager. It will bring up the game. It's going to bring, as these things happen, in LA, the game is better. You can probably better property managers in LA.
Better quality, absolutely. Well, I think even now, I mean, as we've evolved as an industry, we're providing, when I started NARP, all those organizations, they've grown so much. And so you have all these great trade organizations and your systems conference. Amazing that it exists so that we're able to make these improvements quickly and implement quickly, and then network across, network and learn from our colleagues, right?
I mean,
string nails. Yeah.
Yeah. Like 10 years ago, I was going across the South looking for different property management companies, which now I know to invest. And I was in some towns where I wanted to invest and I couldn't invest because I couldn't find a property management company that was computerized, that was doing things that wasn't in a filing cabinet. And I didn't want to invest lots of money buying houses with people that are behind technology. So going to my event, if you are a property manager and you're behind technology, there's nothing wrong with that. But start going to these events because you're going to be more profitable. You're going to learn more. We have lots of vendors and people there that will help you elevate your game. It doesn't take that long to elevate your game. You just need to know what the new game rules are.
That's right. Small changes.
Small changes. I always said that we made all changes from September to January, and then we implemented them the rest of the year, and we did none during the summer because, if we didn't get a change that we wanted to do by January, we waited till the next year. But in January, we implemented, so the implementations would take it to about June to get done. And then July and August, I'd leave my team alone because the team loved them.
That's great. I love that.
So, those are the things you want to do. You have to figure out, and you can't change everything in your company right away, but you can do things. What is your favorite system in your entire company? Like the one that you're like, wow, this is what we have dialed down. Mine was my renewal policy. What was yours?
Oh, that's such a great question. I mean, it sounds really like, it's not really policy, it's just the technology. Since I started when we were writing, when I started, everything was paper, right? Everything was a triplicate. Everything got copied on everything. There were staples, there were things that we're not even using anymore, paper clips, we're not even using, right? So for me, it's been, I think, the lease process. Seeing the whole evolution of the lease process where there's no paper, everything is digital. For us, it's all digital signature. I can sign a lease because I'm the broker of record, right? I'm signing the lease. I was signing a lease when I'm traveling. It's magical to me, just knowing from where our industry came from to have that whole process from application, from looking at the apartment through, we have different companies for showing abilities and then applying and just, now the security features like the 360, facial recognition, so you're matching your driver's license, all those things. It's amazing to me. So like that evolution and that whole process is has been, I don't know, I'm still delighted by it. Is that a good word?
Do you guys still have filing cabinet room, like a room dedicated to filing cabinets?
Zero filing cabinets.
Yep. So
in fact, we moved and I got mad at my staff. I'm like, why are you moving these things? We're not using them anymore. So.
We bought a company and they had a large room dedicated to filing cabinets. This was 2 years ago. And I'm like, you know how much rent they're paying to store all these filing cabinets? This was a room, no people in it, just all file cabinets.
Yeah. We had one. But they also brought all the paper, like I mentioned, they brought all the paper clips and old files. And I was like, we don't even the supplies, we don't really need them anymore.
Yeah, well, it's been that room is slowly shredded because we realized all that stuff is uploaded because they were using software. They just double did everything that they.
People are, and I get it. People are worried, like what will happen, if the computer crashes, server, I don't know, Google crashes, whatever, that you'll have some type of backup. I get it.
It's very expensive. If you're worried, what I would say is put it in 2 different clouds, and then download it onto a really big server or something like that. Because a server that you'd have in your office could, take a cabinet, one cabinet the size, and it could have millions and millions and millions of records. So
I get it. I call that the sleep at night factor.
Yeah. So, but everything changes, everything gets better. But Michelle, I'm so excited to have you at the event. I mean, you've been going for a long time. You've been friends with, I've been friends with you for a while, and you're friends with my brother-in-law, which is really cool, which we didn't know.
Shout out to Philip.
Yes.
Bring your paddle. Maybe we'll do like a pickleball tournament.
It's January, and so it will be pickleball weather. Yeah. Perfect weather. I mean, maybe Michelle will run we have the morning walk. Maybe you can run a morning. Let's go out and play some pickleball.
Sounds great to me.
So we'll see if we can't find that and get that started. That you just added a new layer to the event. So I just don't know if anyone will be as good as you at pickleball.
I've heard some people are playing a lot lately.
Okay, good. I'm glad people are, I used to play once or twice a month at tops. And at that time of year, January, that's my ski season. So that's what I do every day.
Okay.
So anyways, everybody, get tickets. Want to see you at the Systems Conference. It's going to be a great event. And Michelle, as a lifetime in the business of knowledge, and she'll be talking about the transformation basically of, how traction has helped and all this stuff has helped go from where everything was in filing cabinets, everything that to her being walking across France and signing leases while she's hiking, the Alps, or what are the mountains you're hiking in France?
Yeah, it's the Tour de Mont Blanc.
Tour de Mont Blanc. Should be
but
pretty
I'm looking forward to helping everybody. I want to pay it forward. And I'm still learning new things. So that's what's so great about the conference.
Every time I do one of these talks, I learn something new. I've learned like 4 new technologies that have come out in the last couple of years that people were talking about. And I'm like, I don't know if you have ever, you guys use QuickBooks, right?
What's that?
Yeah, we have someone talking about Xero. Someone did Xero, everything on Xero, and does also, I never even knew Xero existed. So I'm excited to see some of this new technology because it's always cool to see where technology is going. Everybody have a wonderful day. Michelle, can't wait to see you in January.
Take care, everybody.